Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another deep dive. I was looking over all the stuff you sent about wanting to improve your social skills,
Hmm.
and I thought, you know what, this book, How to Talk to Anyone, by Leil Lowndes, would be a perfect
Oh,
deep dive for us.
yeah.
It's got like a ton of tips and techniques
Nice.
you can really start using
Absolutely.
right away.
Mm.
And to help us break all this down, we have an expert here who really gets the whole human connection thing.
Happy to be here.
So one of the things that stood out to me in the book was Lowndes' emphasis on those first few seconds.
Yes.
It's like,
Oh, yeah.
bam, you've made an impression.
First impressions.
Yeah, good or bad.
Yeah, and there's so much psychology behind that,
Really?
from like an evolutionary perspective. Those snap judgments were vital for survival.
Oh,
We
what?
had to figure out friend or foe really quickly, and
Uh-huh.
our brains are still kind of wired that way.
I can see that, I've definitely been on the receiving end of both. Good and bad first impression.
Oh, for sure.
But Lowndes has this cool tip called the flooding smile.
Okay.
So imagine you meet someone new, and instead of that like quick, nervous grin,
Right.
you let a warm, genuine smile
Yes.
just kind of slowly spread across your face.
That makes a huge difference.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean, a slow smile comes across as more confident, more sincere. It
Mhm.
tells the other person, I'm happy to be here, and I'm interested in you.
Wow. It's
Right.
like you're letting the joy of the connection just wash over you.
Yes.
But it's not just about the smile, right?
Yeah.
Lowndes talks a lot about body language.
Body language is huge. It's like,
yeah.
your body's always communicating, even when you're not saying a word.
Mhm.
And one of the most powerful ways to build rapport is through mirroring.
Mirroring, like looking in a mirror.
Not exactly. It's
Okay.
more about subtly matching the other person's posture or gestures.
Mhm.
You create this sense of harmony and connection,
I see.
but a word of caution needs to be subtle.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like you're playing copycat.
That would be so weird.
Right.
But subtle mirroring, I can see how that would really make someone feel more at ease.
Exactly.
Like you're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
And then there's this idea of sticky eyes,
Oh, yes.
which sounds kind of intense, but I think I know what she means.
Yeah, sticky eyes is about holding eye contact.
Yeah.
Just a fraction of a second longer than usual. It shows you're present, you're engaged, you're
Yeah.
truly listening.
Have you ever noticed that from someone?
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're really seeing you, not just looking through you.
Yes.
It can be very powerful.
It is powerful, and it goes back to that basic human need
Mhm.
to feel seen and heard,
Hmm.
which brings us to one of my favorite techniques,
Okay.
the big baby pivot.
Okay, big baby pivot. I love the name. Tell me more.
So think about how you instinctively react to a baby. You turn your body toward them. You make eye contact, you give them your undivided attention. That's the essence of the big baby pivot.
Wow.
You're making the other person feel like they're the most important person in the room.
It's like you're creating this little bubble of connection.
Exactly.
Just the two of you.
Yeah.
So put yourself in this scenario. You're at a networking event.
Okay.
You're surrounded by
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
How could you use this big baby pivot to really stand out?
Well, instead of just like flitting from person to person with these superficial greetings,
Right.
you focus on one person at a time.
Okay.
Really listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Ask thoughtful questions. Make them feel like their words matter.
So simple yet so powerful.
It is.
Okay. Moving on. How about some advice for those of us who struggle with, those initial conversation starters?
Oh, yeah, that can be tough. For that, Lowndes suggests the Hansel and Gretel technique.
Hansel and Gretel, like dropping breadcrumbs to find your way back.
Exactly. You're dropping little conversational breadcrumbs
Yeah.
to pique the other person's interest
Okay.
and invite them to engage.
So what kind of breadcrumbs are we talking about?
It could be a comment about something happening around you, a playful observation, or even a question that invites a response. Something like, have you tried the coffee here? I hear it's amazing.
Oh, I like that. And I remember Lowndes also talks about expressing gratitude in a way that really resonates.
Yes, the never the naked thank you rule.
Never the naked thank you. What is that?
It's about going beyond a simple thank you
Okay.
and adding a layer of specificity and sincerity.
So instead of just saying, thanks for the gift,
Right.
you might say, thank you for the beautiful scarf.
Mm.
The colors are amazing and it's so soft.
Exactly. You're letting them know that their thoughtfulness was noticed and appreciated,
Mhm.
and it creates a much warmer, more authentic connection.
And finally, how about keeping those conversations flowing once they've started?
Well, active listening is key. And you can do that by using phrases like, tell me more, or that's so interesting, what happened next? It shows you're genuinely invested in what the other person has to say.
That's like you're saying, I'm all ears, and I'm eager to hear more.
Precisely. And when people feel listened to, they naturally open up and share more, which in turn fuels the conversation.
So we covered a lot of ground today, from those
We did.
all-important first impressions to mastering the art of small talk and expressing genuine gratitude. How to talk to anyone gives us so many tools for better conversations and deeper connections.
It really does.
But here's the thing I want to leave you with. Lowndes makes this really empowering point,
Yeah.
that charisma isn't some magical quality you're born with.
Right.
It's a set of skills that anyone can learn and practice.
I love that.
So I challenge you to pick one technique from this deep dive and try it out in your next conversation. See what happens. A huge thanks to our expert for sharing their insights.
My pleasure.
And to you, dear listener. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive. See you next time.